the corporate world assured us of repeat business.
Yeah.
They're more stable to work with.
Yeah.
They'll respect the work that you've done, and they'll give you much more referrals.
Wow.
All these referrals trickle down back into a penny in your pocket.
Yeah.
But this also comes with a toll on its other side.
Yeah.
Your mind has to be running. You have to keep thinking for them if you're going to serve the corporate world.
Yeah.
Unlike the other dancing
yes.
and entertainment industry whereby anything goes, and by the time that it comes to the morning time, they don't even remember what you did for them.
Yeah.
So that is what has gotten Jude to where he is right about now.
Wow.
I'm the head of business at Legacy Productions
Yeah.
Limited, which is an audiovisual equipment hire as well as events management company.
Yes.
Legacy Productions came into being in the year 2014.
Okay.
And for the past about 8 years, we've been rolling with it.
Okay.
It's been a very good ride.
Yeah. We can see the results of it on the screen there, and of course, and some of the things they've been doing. Jude, that talking about it, you studied something else.
Yes.
And you ended up doing your passion.
Yes.
I want to know, how did your parents, first of all, what did you study? And how did you flip from what your parents want you to do to doing your passion? Because I am very certain there is a young man out there, a young lady out there who is wondering how to do this. They have the passion to do something, but they are being told you have to be a doctor or an engineer, and yet it is very clear that whatever they want them to study, they are not going to make money out of it. Do you think you're ready to engage people once again after 2 years or 2.5 years of no activity brought about by COVID-19?
I think the advantage of the lockdown and the past 2 years has been like most of the creatives, whether they are independent or not, have been engaged in a process of creating content, and I'm curious to see what's going to come out of this now that we are free to start working. I'm sure everyone is going to be ready to prepare to present something that they've been working on. So I'm not really worried about if there is content. I think I'm very worried about who is going to present it, because most people have actually, not maybe actually, have really moved on.
Yes.
I mean, they realized that they were chasing a dead horse, you know, and they were like, you know, we are not going to survive 2 years of not working, even trying to mitigate the, you know, life. Now that they are, you know, they have started some jobs. You know, if you have a job that is 9 to 5, you're not going to start, you know, going for rehearsals or going to dance in a studio. And what are you going to eat if you go there? So I think my biggest worry is about who is going to be presenting the content, whether it's dance, whether it's theater, whether it's music, whether it's film. Okay, film is different, but I think there are certain art forms that are independent and they really need an effort for someone to be able to present it. And I think opening up without any support structure to help these people get back into the market, it's going to be really, really difficult. So for me, I think that's going to be the biggest challenge.
Okay. So when you say there are certain art form that needs really, really support, and there's some that needs to, what are those, you know, can you highlight some of them that needs to?
Yes, I mean, when we are talking about like the independent art scene, we are talking about some of the independent artists I know, and they are the most challenged one are the contemporary dancers. The contemporary dancers, first of all, contemporary dance is very, very new to the industry, to the market here. And even when they have been working over the years, you know, dancers like, you know, Jonas, like Julius, like Oscar, have been really working hard to really cultivate their audiences. And they have been not really managing to get them, you know, to get them to fill up the auditoriums. And now that they are back, they need a lot of time. They need at least 6 to 8 months to prepare a production, and which means that now that they don't have money and they're opened up to start, they needed someone to, you know, or they needed some kind of like a support fund to get them to start, so that they can be able to prepare their work to present it to the audiences.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what kind of support are we looking at here?
Money, of course. I mean, it's money. I don't think, you know, there's anything else. Maybe also space. Space is also an important thing, because some of them need space. They might have time and they might have money to survive on where to stay, but they definitely need space to rehearse on.
I wish everyone in the music scene success, but they are not going to move for as long as the people in the government does not respect art and look at art as a form of competition to them. We're wasting time. Also, the structures are put in place. People like Balaam and a few other people who just come in. I'm reading it. It says people like Balaam who come in, says who have you know, proximity to the powers that be. Instead, they who even hand from music and promote music. Sometimes when these challenges come, they are supposed to be able to tell the people in authority that, look, this is where I also earn my money from and support. But instead, sometimes they also manipulate the system. I respect them, but they earn from the system, the music industry, but they're also the same people who don't support the music industry. I'm being honest. I hope you can read my comment on the show, because I've sent comments before on TV and it's never read.
Okay, I think, no, honest, I understand personally. I really understand the frustrations of all the people. I am, some of us are more and always frustrated, but we try to keep a smiley face. And everyone has a lot. If you start inviting people to talk about the challenges they face with the investments they make here, you will be overwhelmed. So it's really true. And I really think, as they say, you know, they need to be considered. There is a need to really, find out how do we all take part in this shared responsibility. How can we all have a shared vision for our country? I'm not talking about politics. Now, in the arts, in the creative industry, how can we grow it together? How can we share the pie or the cake that is there, so that we don't grab everything to oneself? You know, when I see people mentioning names and saying this one takes the thing, I have no problem with those people. But I think also, if other people are there in the market, then they should be given an opportunity, or even thoughtful. You know, we can't always keep things in one side, on one side.
Welcome to the Creative Industry Talk. My name is Eddie Okela. This week in the studio, we have the man who has been in audio-visual artistry for the longest of time. The people who have stood the test of time of COVID-19. We want to know from them if they are ready come 24th of January 2024, Uganda will be opening up for events after 2.5 years of no activity at all. It was believed that the audiovisual sound industry was closing down in Uganda. And as a matter of fact, many people actually closed down, changed career, went into something else. Others, the bank loan swallowed them. But those who remained are yet to take us back to the moments where if there is no entertainment, then there is no creativity, then there is no productivity in the country. We're glad that Uganda is opening up, and joining me on the program today is the one and only Jude Sempewa, coming from Legacy Production Limited, a company based in Uganda. Jude, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Eddie.
We're bongering and spreading love here. We have to do this. You have to and spread love to people because COVID-19 has been there. In the words of Pastor Joshua Martin Mugabe. But welcome to the program. How are you doing?
I'm doing fine, Doctor.
And
I'm
have
doing
you
fine,
been?
Eddie.
Yes. Yes, some
Yeah,
call
let's
me
talk to
doctor
the
because of the health and fitness, so it's understandable.
Sure.
But
sure.
first, Jude, we want to know from you. How have you been? How have COVID-19 treated you? 2019, we have not seen you. Things have been just up and down, lockdown here and there. Let's talk about Jude in the 2019.
Jude 2019 was a very beautiful, sunny, fair weather year.
Yeah.
We had the best of what you could call an eventful year.
Yeah.
So many events, so much happening, so much entertainment, so much infotainment. Then came in 2020.
Yeah.
Out of the blue, things changed. The script was flipped
Yes.
thereafter.
Wow.
Yeah.
And if we go back to the ancestry, we want to know, are you Ugandan? Yes. What does the name Sempebwa mean? What does the name Jude mean? Are you Ugandan? If yes, what are the values that define you as Ugandan? We want to know the ancestry, the background of Jude.
My names
Yes.
are Jude Sempewa. I'm a Muganda by tribe. I'm above 40. And I'm a person who has grown with my passion.
Yeah.
Passion has brought me to where I am.
Yeah.
I did school, through college, through university, and after campus, I decided to follow my passion,
Yeah.
which passion was entertainment. But entertainment to us was born into our family from when we were kids.
Yeah.
So even after school, when I came into this whole entertainment thing, it was something that had been born in me, and it had become a culture.
Wow.
Yeah, become a culture, and then I took on this culture to turn it into an art, so as to be able to earn from it and ensure that it puts food on my table till the current date.
Wow.
I entered the entertainment and art industry in about 2003 when I started DJing at Stakeout. That doesn't cut out the bit of the story that I even used to DJ as one of my small part-time jobs at campus.
Yeah.
That was about 1998 to 2001.
Yeah.
But actively, I started DJing in 2003 at Stakeout. Got out of Stakeout in 2005, where I started Legacy Entertainment, which was a sole proprietor. Yeah. Entered into playing music for private individuals as well as the corporate world.
Yeah.
Drifted all through that into coming up to about 2010. That's when we got to the decision that we really now need to serve mainly the corporate world. We chose the corporate world because it assured us of more business.
Yeah.
In terms of utilizing our time better,
Yeah.
having worked from Monday to Friday, 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. Unlike other industries in entertainment, usually go into the night crawling kind of schedules.
Yeah.
Yeah. And also the corporate world assured us of repeat business.
Yeah.
They're more stable to work with.
Yeah.
They'll respect the work that you've done, and they'll give you much more referrals.
Wow.
All these referrals trickle down back into a penny in your pocket.
Yeah.
But this also comes with a toll on its other side.
Yeah.
Your mind has to be running. You have to keep thinking for them if you're going to serve the corporate world.
Yeah.
Unlike the other dancing
Yes.
and entertainment industry whereby anything goes, and by the time that it comes to the morning time, they don't even remember what you did for them.
Yeah.
So that is what has gotten Jude to where he is right about now.
Wow.
I'm the head of business at Legacy Productions
Yeah.
Limited, which is an audiovisual equipment hire as well as events management company.
Yes.
Legacy Productions came into being in the year 2014.
Okay.
And for the past about 8 years, we've been rolling with it.
Okay.
It's been a very good ride.
Yeah. We can see the results of it on the screen there, and of course, and some of the things you've been doing. Jude, that talking about it, you studied something else.
Yes.
And you ended up doing your passion.
Yes.
I want to know, how did your parents, first of all, what did you study? And how did you flip from what your parents want you to do to doing your passion? Because I am very certain there is a young man out there, a young lady out there who is wondering how to do this. They have the passion to do something, but they are being told you have to be a doctor or an engineer. And yet it is very clear that whatever they want them to study, they are not going to make money out of it, or they are not going to practice, and they don't love it. How were you able to flip the coin to get into art and actually continue with your artistry part of you as opposed to what you went to school to study?
Thank you, Eddie. I'll start with the end, what I would have put as the end statement.
Yes.
Believe in people.
Yeah.
That's it. Believe in your child. At the age of 5, when I was 5 years old, I happened to be introduced to music, to be formally introduced to music. Put aside being born into it, but being introduced into music. Whereby an auntie of mine brought a cassette home from a disco called Sejiko. The first time I had Red Wine from UB40. So, and it happened that afterwards, I knew where all the music was at home. I was the custodian of all my dad's cassettes. I even knew the order in which the songs used to play. Coming to my P3, that's about 1987, he gave me a Walkman. If you remember Walkmans back in the days, it was an old school cassette player about this size, using 4 batteries. And I don't know, I think my elder brother is called Tony.
Well, I was a master of those things.
Tony used to love music so much.
I opened those things and messed it up, and I was beaten several times.
Now Tony used to love music so much, and actually I picked very many, not just a leaf, but very many leaves from him. So Tony, I think, took the Walkman. He was in Namilengo College then. He took it to go out and be a big boy. Back in the days, you know, Walkmans, I'm a big boy. But after that, I went to, as in Kampala Parents for my primary school, from P1 to P7. And then I went to Namilengo College from S1 to S6. Then from there I went to Makerere University. Through high school, my friends, my hobbies who I was with can attest to you that Jude was a music person. I used to have a small radio, headphones on my ears. I used to know all the good songs all around there and things like that.
You were the go-to guy in high school.
I was a go-to guy when it came to music. I get to know all the new hits on the blog. I knew all of them. Came into campus. I wanted actually to be a lawyer. Makerere University.
That's what I know.
I wanted to be a lawyer. But what happened was that I missed law by 2 points on government. So I then qualified for BIFA, which is fine art. When I went into fine art, I was in those lessons for only 2 weeks. I applied for a change of course. BIFA, fine art.
Fine art.
I ran away from something
which you all later on you came back
eventually I was going to fall back into, but from another perspective, from a more interesting perspective, from a naturally inspired perspective. When I finished campus, after fine art, I did social sciences, where I did a major in social administration and a minor in economics.
Wow.
Little did I know that the economics had done and the social admin had done were going to get me to professionalize an industry which was seen as the common man's or the industry for the failures, for those who hadn't gone to school and that kind of thing. When I entered music after campus, I had some critics from a number of individuals. Why are you doing this? How can you're a graduate, how can you be doing bidongo business, sound system business, moving on pickups and what? Only one person believed in me, That was my mother.
That's shocking.
Yes, she
and
believed
your dad
in me.
must have been saying this is a failure. I've had a wrong course.
Rest in peace, Daddy. He wasn't alive then to see the dream come true.
Okay.
He actually passed on when I was about like 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah, so I wasn't trying to see the dream. But I'm proud that I've gotten his dream alive.
Yes.
Up to this point. My mother didn't judge me for what I'd chosen to do, for the path that I'd chosen to take.
Yeah.
She just encouraged me. She was like, just do things the right way. They'll always pay you back.
Yeah.
Don't be greedy. Be truthful. Have those qualities, integrity. And don't forget that you've been to school.
Yes.
Carry forward whatever you've studied into what you intend to do.
Yeah.
Trust me, it won't fail. A few years down the road, a number of colleagues who didn't believe in the dream which I had then saw this baby start to flourish.
Yes.
So then they fall back.
Yes.
Have you been doing this? How did you do this? Where's someone to start a mobile disco? Where's someone to do such and such and such kind of thing?
Yes.
So it's just been a very interesting journey all the way through.
Wow.
As I mentioned in the very start, we had to choose what is our niche. You're doing entertainment.
Yes.
You've decided to do this art, but what is your niche? Where are you pointing your gun? Look out at the market. Where are the opportunities? Where should you point your gun? Don't take the big wide road which everyone is walking through.
Yeah.
There's this narrow road with bumps. It's the better road because at the end of it is the bigger picture.
Yeah.
This big road has been trodden and spoiled and done all things, all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
So, came in a bit of the research and development.
Yeah.
Sit on your side and think, I've chosen to do this. This is my vocation.
Yeah.
How am I going to do it? How am I going to ensure
Yeah.
that I keep it alive?
Yeah.
In that at the end of the day, there's a legacy left behind.
Yeah.
That is legacy productions.
Wow, when you're
Spread
hearing that,
back the
your
laugh.
friends back to love. This is the Creative Industry Talk. We're talking to Jude Sempebwa, who is head of business development at Legacy Productions Limited. Jude, of course, you've had a beautiful story right there, coming from a young child, you know, young as 9 and 10, looking after his father's records, and later on becoming a DJ, and from law to social sciences to, you know, to fine art at university, and jumping out of it and coming back to the creative industry. You see, creativity runs in the blood of every human being brought on earth. Even you too who is watching the show, you are actually creative. So we want you to share your love with Jude. Send us your kisses and disses coming. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we're going to be diving to the questions of our discussion today. If I will put the topic up there for you to actually see what we're talking about today. We're talking about the challenges of 2022 for the independent creative arts in event supply chain, and of course, you know, readiness as the events open up on January 24th in the, you know, year 2022. After Uganda being off the scene for 2 years, we want to know if the Judes who are actually the supply chain, as you've talked about, the audio visual that powers the event industry, that powers the creative industry, is actually ready to go back. Stay right there. We'll be right back after this break. This is the Creative Industry Talk.
You know, when you to do the kind of work that like I do, you need to educate yourself. We are unfortunate that we don't have a school of arts management here in this country, and I don't think anywhere in East Africa. So it's very difficult for someone to understand the scope of the work that we do. But if you want to learn, if anyone who is a programmer out there and who wants to really engage in these theories of learning to do things differently, you have to you know, study. Like, I think the bottom line, the basis of this business is really to study culture economics. when you study culture economics, you'll understand the process of understanding culture. It's a very public, good kind of approach.
Yeah.
You put yourself there as a sacrifice. The way our president said, he sacrificed his hand and kept this to himself.
Yes.
You know, so you also have, no, it is serious.
Yeah.
You have to understand that when you learn culture economics, you understand the basics of arts management, the basics of programming. So when you do that, then you understand that when you put yourself into this job, you are sacrificing yourself for the better good of the rest of the industry.
Yeah.
And that means that you're going to put your interests aside, and that's what many people don't understand, and put the interests of the industry to be your first priorities.
Yeah.
When people ask me, why are you always working? Because I decided to make 99% of my time to work. And I decided not to be an artist because I realized that if I am an artist and I want to be an arts manager, I'll not be able to do the same. I put my 99% of the time in my work, and then the rest 1% I share it with the people next to me.
There's always that influence of our parents, okay? With Ugandan parents or African parents for that case, books before everything else.
Yeah.
Okay, so how is it with your parents? Do they support you playing basketball, or it's these things of you have to hide and make sure no basketball photo of you goes up on social media? How is it with your parents?
My parents are very supportive.
Yeah.
They are very, very supportive. I actually thank God for that, because we have had fellow teammates where they have to hide, like you've said, hide or facilitate themselves for anything and in everything about basketball.
Yeah.
But my parents are very supportive. When it came to the time of, I think I'll make it on team, what, the passports, they made sure I get it on time before even anything, before it was even confirmed. The COVID, they made sure I had the shots like on time.
Yeah.
If it is the shoes that I need, I'm not going to hustle. They're going to give me that money and I buy the shoes. Basically, even if I say I have training tomorrow, at this time, they'll give me the transport and everything. They're very supportive. That is for sure. Yeah. So I don't know how to hustle when it comes to basketball. Yeah.
Sylvester, let's talk about the multilingual. I mean, this is really a very great piece of work. You've talked about multilingual, and we've seen a girl there singing in Rutoro. That's the first time I've never heard of a rapper in Rutoro, in that language. So
No, I know. Actually, she was rapping in no, that's
Runyoro?
That's Runyoro.
Runyoro, yes,
That's
yes,
Runyoro,
yes.
Yeah, but it being a multilingual platform, it has also introduced us to, languages, more and more languages, because it's an expression of culture. So people come with different languages. For example, like the first time I had Kumam. Do you know that there's a language called Kumam?
Kumam, yes.
Kumam,
yes,
but
it's between Teso and Namo, yes.
But it's a tribe of like they have a small population.
Yes.
Yeah. So that was the first time I was like, wow, what language is this? And she said there were two guys, they're Kumam.
Yes.
And they featured on the 2015 album.
Yes.
And it was sounding so nice that you're forced to ask what language it is, you know. And it was so nice. Then there are some languages, you know them, but you've never had someone, use them in a song as an expression, like Lugisu, like Kejong, and so many others. Yes, others who've gone up listening to them, but we've never had someone, using them in a rap song. So it has been an eye-opener even for us as organizers. listening to different, expressions in various languages. So we welcome everyone, to express themselves freely. And Faisal Shuewa, the director of Baimba, the first time he had Big Ben, one of the participants in the 2013 boot camp. Yes. He had him rap in Lugisu, and he thought it was a language from South Africa, like one of those languages from South Africa. Like, it was sounding so nice. Yes, yes. It was like, wow, what language is this? Is this from South Africa? So that's how it is. It has been an interesting journey as well, that we're discovering these languages. We know them, but we know it's a different way when someone uses it in a song as an expression. It's a very good feeling.
Welcome back from the break. My name is Eddie Okila, and this is the Creative Industry Talk. Of course, in the studio, we have Jude Sempewa. Jude, welcome back to the program. We are talking about the 2022 challenges that faces the independent creative mind in the heart on audiovisual. And of course, we're looking at the readiness of us in 2022. The events in Uganda has been, locked down for so long, and we're coming back. We want to know from you, Jude. First of all, a beautiful story you've told us right there. When we talk about, for example, the independent creative arts industry in Uganda or in audiovisual sector, what are we really referring, to? From the event supply, part, because normally people just talk. You find me having one speaker. I also call myself an event supply chain person, but I'm not. But so when we talk about this, what are we really referring to?
I can sum all that in just one word.
Yes.
Relevance. That's it.
I want you to break the relevance.
2022.
Yes.
Relevance. You have to be relevant. When our industry closed in March 2020, it was actually a crash. It crashed down. We had a couple of bookings, very many bookings. Remember, as I told you, 2019 had been a very beautiful year, and it was carrying itself over into 2020. As soon as COVID came in, everything crashed. We lost all our entire bookings, all the bookings. We had nothing happening. Warehouses were locked. It was termed as a dead stock from that point then. Then when they opened us up partially in July 2022, we actually thought that it was going to be the same script as we'd been working on before COVID. But we later realized that, hey, actually things have changed. The clients who were supposed to call us are not calling back anymore. They're not calling us anymore. So it was about shedding skin. We realized as Legacy Productions that we had to shed skin so as to be able to fit into the new way of doing things. Actually, our biggest fight, our biggest fear, as we're walking through the 3 months of lockdown into when they opened up, was the entertainment, the audiovisual industry not being relevant anymore. Because there was this term of millennials. Millennials are coming up with new ideas, the new normal, new way of doing things. You don't need to do any more conferencing with those big gadgets. You can do everything from your phone in the comfort of your home, so long as you have entertainment, so long as you have this small piece of equipment powered by internet. So, us getting back to be alive, we had to push things from the point of relevance. How relevant can we make ourselves as Legacy Productions to our clients? How our clientele being corporate, how are we supposed to come back and step back into their space with what we can talk to them that is music to their ears, as well as adding value to their brands and images?
Yes. Wow. Well, I mean, a lot of people don't think about this thing, Jude, when you're talking about, and when we talk about independent creatives, we're seeing the real meaning of it coming from you and what you've just explained. Jude, a quick one. Now that government is opening up, you know, the performance art, you know, to operate again and to start doing things, do you think that you guys in the audiovisual sector, as the event supply chain, are actually ready to engage after 2 years or 2.5 years? Are you ready to engage again to the public, or do you need help?
Yes. When it comes to a bit of help,
yes.
As in the audiovisual and events creative space,
Yes.
there are two dimensions to this.
Yes.
Yeah, we have two types of clientele that we feed. Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a clientele that is into purely entertainment, mm-hmm. being happy, even being happy for no reason.
Yes.
Right now, everyone wants to be happy.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
even happy for no reason. The stress, the COVID, we've been locked up, and all things like that. Everyone just wants to be happy.
Yeah.
But those happen at night, on the weekend and all.
Yeah.
Then there is the bit of, that is the entertainment bit, mm-hmm. purely entertainment bit, mm-hmm. you know, which you have to get creative for. Then there is the infotainment bit.
Yeah.
Infotainment is where someone wants to be happy for a reason. Mm-hmm. I go out there, I have my company, I need to put out this campaign, I need to launch this, I need to run this platform, I need to run this conference. That is infotainment, whereby there is relevance and a journal attached to my after production.
Yeah.
If I went for a concert, I mean, there's nothing much I can account for at the end of the concert.
Yeah.
Nothing much. But if it's a conference, there's a lot more to account for. So, are we ready to open up? Entertainment will open up. They will make the money. It's obvious. The whole world is craving for shows and all that happening. But most of those have been in limbo because of the lockdown situation.
Yes.
On the corporate side, which is infotainment, if you were wise enough to realize what is relevant to the corporate client, the corporate client has been active since July 2020.
True.
Post a little bit,
yes.
during the second lockdown of 2021,
which
that was around
so hard.
Which didn't even hit
Jude.
Which didn't even hit so much.
Yes.
If you're into infotainment, trust me, legacy has been open ever since. So if you ask me a question, if we are ready to be open, well, we've been open. Because we've been serving our corporate clients who had that urge to be out there and be relevant on the global scene.
Yes.
The ones in entertainment, those doing the concerts and the being happies and all of that,
those supplying the churches.
Those can prepare themselves to open up. But on our side as Legacy Productions, looking from the point of relevance to our end clientele, we have been open and we only hope for things to get better.
Yes. On that note, Jude, I want to ask you a question.
Please.
Generally, you have been actually operating because you're fixed, like you said, relevance. You've spoken about it quite very clearly. Do you think the general industry, your industry, audiovisual, is actually ready to open up? Do you see that happening? Some people were hearing that the cables are eaten up by cockroaches and rats and they need to fly to China and start all over again, and some have loans to start with. Where does that place us? I know that we've talked about Jude and Legacy being very relevant because you are thinking creatively and you are thinking to open, and you've actually thought creatively to open up doors for businesses and continue being relevant during the time. What about the general picture of the industry as we draw near to the moment everybody is waiting for?
As we draw near to the moment when they're going to open up the entire economy, I'd just like to let my colleagues in the industry know that a lot has changed.
Yes.
A lot has changed ever since. And I guess I've been seeing how things have been moving. The industry is quite very demanding, quite very, very, very demanding. You have to be creative. Creative, first of all, from the mental point, of things. Thinking, there's a lot of thinking involved. because you have to provide solutions. Clients are now looking out for solutions. Not just you carrying equipment and bringing it to them to serve, to do whatever you want, but the equipment has to be able to answer a question. It must be able to solve. A client needs to see value from something that you're going to provide them. So in the new time that we're going in, it's a solution offering time. There's very little razzmatazz being demanded at the moment. Razzmatazz, bright lights, all of that. Very little razzmatazz being demanded at the moment. People want to see numbers. People want to see performance. How have we performed? How has coming to Eddie for equipment, how has coming to Eddie to supply for our event benefited us? How do we account for the entire bill? How do we account for the millions that we've paid Eddie to supply for our event? What have we benefited? There has to be that cost-benefit ratio. It has to be in very good balance. And trust me, the benefit has to override the costs. So as they're opening up this entire industry, the demand is you need to offer solutions to clients. Things have changed. Technology, there's new technology in place. You should have embraced new technology. You should have embraced the way in which business is being done now. Companies no longer want to spend that much money on taking flights to attend a conference in Dubai, conference in Australia, wherever. You can stay in your office, attend the conference, and actually participate. You even make a presentation into that conference. Those are the solutions that clients are now looking out for. If you're walking into 24th January, into the gates, the wide open gates of 24th January.
Which we have been crying for.
Which you've been crying for. You're walking straight into those gates are going to be very wide open. But out there, it's a different ball game. It's a very different ball game.
Wow.
It takes on so much. But trust me, there are so many opportunities.
So Jude, if I may interact, so you're basically saying, much as we are being open, much as we are looking forward to this day, if we're going back to this day with the same mentality we had in 2019, that events is business as usual, basically, we're still not going to make it. That's what you're saying.
It will be hard. It will be hard to make it. It will be hard to make it. Because when my brothers who are doing the concerts and all of that, people can imagine the inconvenience of walking into the stadium and all of that. We need to think of new solutions, new creative solutions.
True.
Online ticketing, e-ticketing, one access passes, you know. I should be able to buy an online ticket. I watch the concert from the comfort of my home. Such a kind of thing. Though, yes, as humans, we love the experience, want to feel that heat, the thump, the steam. But this is a new generation that we're walking into, and we know that it is here to stay. So if you don't embrace it, you may fall off the event production radar.
Wow. Well, you're hearing that coming up from Jude. Jude is, events supplier, is part of the supply chain of the events industry, the creative industry that provides audiovisual to corporate companies, to government, to people, to public people, to business to people. That's Jude. And of course, we're having him on the show today because we're talking about this new part of, the independent creative minds in the audiovisual industry. What is it that they have been doing? They have been saying they're in the lockdown for so long, and now we're being open up. Are they ready to go? We needed to have somebody who can give us a perspective of what is going on in that space, and Jude is here to give us that. We want you to subscribe, like, share far and wide. This is the House of Talent Television. Of course, my name is Eddie Okela. Jude, I want to have a couple of questions before we take another break here.
Please.
And I want to start from a gentleman here who says, Eddie Okela, thank you very much for bringing Jude in. Jude is my OB. That guy, whatever he's talked about is true. Used to move with a Walkman on him and his brothers were the kings of Namileon College. And I'm happy to see him there. My question to Jude is, he's talking about thinking creatively. going forward. But many of the people in the space are asking government to give them support. Jude is not asking government to give them support. Oh, he has already received. What is it that he can share with us? Well, I think Jude, you've shared something, but I think you can answer his question. He's basically saying that there have been a lot going on, and you're saying you're sharing thinking creatively. In what ways should people continue to think creatively? He says he has a brother. I have a brother, a younger brother, who is inspired into that space, but he seems to be losing hope. He had bought some small equipment, got some loans here. The banks have been on our case. He's almost sold his land during the time. We're hoping that this time around we're not going to lose his home. Jude, what do you say to a man like this?
Yeah, that brother of mine talked of, maybe some funding coming in, receiving some money from the bank.
Yes.
We didn't receive anything like that. Yes, we had some other people received it, but us, we didn't. But from our space as legacy, research and development. Research and development. Yeah. Very many people can make it in this game, but they don't want to put in time. They don't want to burn the midnight oil. That midnight oil. Prep. Go out there. There's information everywhere. Information around anything you want to do. Because you know what? You're not the first one to think about it.
Yes.
Just like when you fall sick, you go to a hospital, it's not the first time the doctor is hearing about that. Even if it fails here locally, they'll push you to India. They have a solution for you. So that's it about creativeness and our industry. Think. Always take time to research. Look at the times that we're in. You always find a way out. And also, Rome wasn't built in a day. You can start from somewhere small. Legacy, we started off in a bar. I was a DJ. I had 2 speakers. But those 2 speakers can do a meeting. They can do a full-day meeting. Add 2 more speakers, you can do a conference. And you get paid. So let that young person not think that you require heaps of money. Don't rush so fast to the bank.
Yeah.
Save as much as possible. And once you've started rolling off, plow back. Most of the money that you make, bring it back. Don't jump from one thing to another. Focus. Look, target for that bull's eye. That bull's eye. That's where the gold is. It's not targeted within a year or 2.
And that's why we fail a lot.
Exactly. Exactly. I mean, 2003, 2020, I've been doing one thing.
I'm still doing one thing.
One thing. Okay? So long as you have the love for it, because you know what? You're not pushed in the morning to go and do this job.
Yes.
It's a passion. It's a culture in you.
Yes.
You're not pushed. That's it. But if you want to buy speakers, then again you want to go and do a small butchery business, then you want to go into agriculture.
Yes,
you are splitting your opportunities. You're splitting your finances.
Yeah.
Focus on this one thing. You can make it.
Wow.
Rome wasn't built in a day.
Wow. Jude, I have another question here before we take another break. Eddie Okila, thank you very much for the show. My name is James, and I'm watching this show from Germany. I am an audiovisual guy. I used to be in Uganda. I'm a Ugandan, but I left the country a few years ago to study, and I wanted to basically cross over because things became hard. I'm glad that in 2020, when the lockdown was coming, I just gotten my scholarship to come and study in Germany. I'm doing this at the moment, but my question to Jude is that my brothers in Uganda are not ready for this. Ugandans are a bit lazy and not think very much, or Africa in general. We don't want to think creatively, and yet we're very creative minds, we're very organized people. My question to Jude though is, Jude talks about we need to think creatively and we need to, but what about those who cannot get the kind of contract that Jude is getting today? What advice does Jude have for them to go forward? Well, I think that first of all, Jude, you're going to answer this question. To my brother James, 2003 DJ, we have been with him at Stakeout. We know what he's talking about. And we know his style of playing and all that stuff. Leaping from 2003 to 2000.
About 2008.
2008 is when he's moving into doing something else. Look at that journey. Those are how many years? 5 years, right? So you also attract the people that are of your caliber when you grow to a certain degree. But I'll leave it up to you, George. Yes, he's saying that you shouldn't be. You are now serving big boys. You're hanging out with big boys. I don't know where this word came from, but
it's the thing at the moment.
Yes. But to serve the big clients, Jude, how does that one get to that level? If I get James World, and if I'm not yet there, how do I build myself to get there? Looking at where you are right now, that's what he's asking about. Yeah.
Okay. There's a journey that you have to take.
Yes.
To get to that point.
Yeah.
If you don't take that journey and you want to take another route of shortcuts and what, you will definitely not get there. Number one, integrity. Be truthful. Deliver what you promise. Yeah. Number two, get yourself straight. Get yourself serious. I mean, you want to do this for a living, but you don't want to do things seriously. You want to survive on something, but you want to keep it briefcase. You won't make it. Set up a company. Register it. Face the taxman. No one loves the taxman. Face the taxman. Get that documentation. You've already cut out your niche. Understand your clientele. Understand your people. What do they need to get the best out of your services? That is what is going to add on the relevance on top of that. Add on the research and development. Think on their behalf. We really put in so much in research and development. Till when China closed the doors to us in January 2020. For the past 5 years, we take trips to China at the beginning of every year just to do research and development. They have the expos there. Information is everywhere. Come to 2022, they're opening up the doors. I want to assure Ugandans in the event space, the clientele base has tripled. Why has the base tripled? Every client now wants a good production. They want something standard. They want something international. They want something sparkling. They want something clean. They want something done ethically. So if someone is out there and they're wondering, how do you tap into this space? How do they... Just do what is right. You will tap onto the cake. The cake is thrice the size. Thank you.
Wow. Well, there's a Creative Industry Talk. My name is Eddie Okela. Jude Sempeba right there from Legacy Production Limited is talking from experience, not lying. And of course, we're going to take one or two of your questions before we go over. Jude, this is a very good one. Eddie Okela, thank you very much for the show. I think this is the best Creative Industry Talk, a platform that we actually have to express ourselves. My question though to Jude is, Jude has talked about us thinking and says that it is true what Jude is saying, that the space has widely opened. I'm a DJ. Of course, I've struggled to get a job over the years until I realized that I need to focus into creating sound advert for people during the lockdown, and so I've been surviving on this. I'm not sure if I can go back to the club to play music.
That's great. That's great.
I know that he's saying that I don't think I can go back to the club to play music because this has been able to feed me, but the industry is opening. My question to Jude Sempeba is, a lot of us talk very good about research and development, but in Uganda, you need some people to mentor you. Is Jude open to mentor some young people to show them the way to get to where he is? He's now on the top. He came from behind. He's been able to hold things up. My question also to him is, how is he able to stay afloat, yet others are going down like the big boys we used to know? I won't mention names.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm very open to mentor anyone who wants a piece of the advice. But there's only one underlying condition: focus. Most people don't focus. You're talking to someone, do it this way. The moment they turn their back on you, they go back to the old school of doing things. You can't make it, however much advice you give and however much you're counseled, you need to focus. Make your decision. If you've come to me for advice and you want to know about how this thing works, respect, give it the benefit of the years. Because I'm talking from a perspective of very many years back. So focus on that, then you make it happen. About the big boys, whatever is happening and all of that. As a matter of fact, everyone is still making some money. Though some may not be as prominent as others at the moment. But it was a matter also of, as I said before, the issue of shedding skin. How do you shed skin and make sure that what I'm doing is relevant to to what is supposed to be going on at the moment. Yeah, just shedding skin and yeah.
I actually have a question though, Jude. A lot of people are crashing in the audiovisual industry, a lot. I mean, the top guys, I know about 3 or 4 people who have shut down. Some of them have left the country. Some have taken off back to Europe or to try and get cheyo because things were hard here. How have you been able to manage to stay afloat, Jude? The audiovisual section of the creative arts has been suffering, that's the fact. But how have you been able to manage to go afloat to get away? I know you've talked about some creative things, but I want to just know what is your staying power?
Okay, when we came out of the lockdown, the first lockdown in July 2020, everyone was confused. As the people in the events industry were confused, even our clients, the one who we serve, were very confused. No one knew which direction to take. So then we had to come in and guide the clientele on what has to be done so that they can stay relevant.
That's creative thinking.
That's creative thinking. Creative thinking. You need to get into the mind of your client. Become a part of them. Create an A team. That A team involves the service provider on one side and the client on the other side. Don't go to the client just to make money from them. That's not what their goal is. Not just to give you money. There's something which they need from you. They need to get a winning point for their side also. So go couple with your client. Become a tag team. Don't think about the money. Think about their goal. What do they want to achieve? Why have they come to you? They could have gone to anyone else. So have a winning edge over all your other competitors. But bottom line is, create a tag team with your client. Offer them solutions and make their dreams come true. That is where you can be able to get this winning edge. The demands, of course, very many demands come with this. Number one, you're going to have to pimp up your warehouse. Most of the equipment that we had way back before lockdown, some of it has been irrelevant. But now we have to bring in new equipment. We have hybrid events coming, hybrid events happening. We have to enter filming and broadcast and standard broadcast. Those are all new ideas that you have to bring into your client. Offer something new. Once a client calls on you, don't bring your mentalities of before COVID. That ship left. It left the coast already. Things changed. Think modern for them. You will hang on to them and they'll come back to you and they will stay with you. Top of that, keep it coupled. Keep it coupled with the basics. Which we talked about, the basics on the path. Integrity, deliver what you've promised, have straight books, don't be a briefcase company. No one wants to deal with that anymore. Right now things have changed. You've seen the URA systems in place all around us. Don't think that you're going to try and run away from URA and think you're going to make it. You won't make it because all the big boys with the money are running systems through government. So you have to come and work with the government structures so as also to be able to pick off a slice as your profit to feed your table.
Wow. Well, Jude, thank you very much, and thank you very much for watching the show. We're going to take another break, and when we come back, Jude and I are going to be closing the show with 3 questions about the industry, and of course, reading your comments, kisses and disses. Please go share this far and wide. Subscribe to House of Talent. We're live on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, and of course on our website. You can be part of the family growing bigger and better. And to all the people in the diaspora, thank you very much. We honor you and we love you. And to all the people here at home, we thank you for being creative. Stay right there. Creative Industry Talk will be right back after this break.
Yeah, I'm doing different paintings. I do all branding right now.
Okay.
So as you say that I need like to do community work and do other business. So I'm doing White Star. I'm doing White Star. You do know White Star Magic?
No.
So that's Walbury soap.
Yes.
And I'm doing Cowboy. It's like people get my number, call me. For me, what I do, I paint my street art on the wall. I put my number there. You know, everyone is passing there. Everyone passing on my painting. Okay, so I don't just paint there. I just paint. Then after writing my name, then I put my number. So I'm getting more all my business. People calling me, Abdul, I want you to paint my picture. Can you? Yes, I can paint. You understand? Even those companies like that of White Star, they called me, Abdul, can you do wall branding art on the walls? Yes, I can do. You understand? Even like to do community work in Kawempe, it's like I can't move from Kawempe to other side. You understand? It's very difficult for me to go in town. You understand? Or in Nakasero. You understand? People ask a lot of money to brand your stuff, to put your work. Yeah. That's why I'm mainly working in Kawempe. And it's very difficult for me to move from Kawempe and go to Masaka. You understand? That's a big challenge.
But I think it is. I think you can move to Masaka.
Yeah, I can.
Graffiti is also about resistance, resilience, and what is it about? You know, it's also advocacy. You know, like when you're doing a mask, the Corona campaign.
Yeah.
Corona is not only for people in Kawempe to know about.
It
can also work in Masaka. It can work in Toro. But I think the challenge is, how do you find those spaces?
Yes.
I mean, graffiti, like there's a mural here at Aldeans. I don't know whether you saw it.
And on that, people ask me money to paint my work there.
Yes.
I don't just go there, just putting it. You understand?
For the teams out there, okay, we have very many teams in the NBL. What is City Oil doing right that these other teams are not doing? Because we need to see more teams actually, you know, give you guys competition and also get to that international level. All right. So what are other teams not doing that, you know, they should emulate?
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. There's so many things. Definitely, you know, as a club, we are very ambitious. Okay. When we had just started this club, we said we wanted to be in Africa competition 5 years later.
Yeah.
But when we came in immediately, you know, we won the league and we changed our mind that we don't want to think 5 years later.
5 years.
We want to start now. And because of that mindset that we want to be playing at the top level in Africa, that means you have to do so many things back here at home to be at that level. So we are very ambitious. Of course, to play at international level there, you have to be a powerhouse at home.
Yeah.
That's why we have to win for us to be able to play international, because those are the rules. If you're playing ball, you have to be a champion. At home. Yeah, if you're not, then you can't play ball.
Yeah.
So we want to keep winning at home because we want to be in ball.
Yeah.
People say, "Oh, we win because we have money and all that." I really don't think it's about money. I can tell you that there are some clubs that play players better than, you know, City Oilers.
No, but that's not the perception.
It's
City Oil is the money bags in Ugandan basketball.
That's not true. I think clubs have to really look at themselves and see what they are doing wrong, where they are lacking. Is it the coaching staff? Is it the personnel, the players? Is it their training program? You know, there's so many things that you have to put in place for you to have a very good product. So we look at those. You know, we want our players to have accountability. You know, if you're not training, you've got to have a very good reason why you're not training. Okay, we hear stories. Some players, some clubs have some star players who don't show up for training. We can't have that in City Oil. You know, however big you are, we'll let you. We'll let you out.
Big game.
Yeah, we want our players to account for everything that they do on court. Okay, if you are a player who is supposed to be scoring, you know, 20 points for us, and you don't, you have to tell us why, you know, you're doing that. So we want to make sure that we know the reasons why you're not playing well. Is it because of coaching? Is it because of this? Is it because of, you know, we want to check everything and see that everything is accounted for, and the coaches, you know, if we lose a game, I can tell you that there are meetings that happen, and we have.
And what is the nature of those meetings?
The management has to know why. You know, why did we lose? You know, so you have to have reasons why, and they have to be good reasons. So that, you know, keeps us in check. Okay, for us to try and be at a high level player to always improve and progress. Yeah.
So basically, teams have to be more accountable, not just on court, but even off court. Everything that you do on court, everything that you do as a coach, you know, as even management themselves. Sometimes we sit with management and we ask them, we are lacking this and this. Why aren't you doing that? Because that, you know, helps the team, you know, to play at a high level. Yeah. So it is not just players, but, you know, all departments have to elevate and work together. It is a CEO Bench, Eddie Okela, Linda Tibot in the studio. We're talking about change management, leadership and transformation. And of course, Linda is from the Bite of Benin, a West African restaurant based in the capital city of Kampala, Uganda, in the Pearl of Africa. If you haven't been to Uganda, then you don't know what you're missing in the African continent. You can see Linda's as a restaurant in Kampala. So, and then switching from law to food, this really shows you that we are a place to visit. But aside from that, Linda, welcome back to the program.
Thank you.
We're going to dive into the restaurant business. First, we need to serve you some coffee, so please.
Is this fresh from Africa?
Yes.
West Africa?
This is no. This is fresh from Bududa, and since the French is talking about the new Africa, France relationship, we decided we need to have a French press in this thing, so that we can put the French to their cold.
Merci beaucoup.
Merci. And so you can also pour a cup of coffee for yourself, and we like to make the CEOs feel okay, and Linda is in the studio feeling okay. Take a drink, because the West African food is really hot. We know that.
It depends.
Yes.
as my master's law lecturer would say, it depends.
Yes. But I want to take you straight, Linda, first, in fact, on that question. The Nigerian food, the West African food in Kampala, do you have customers? Because you have food. One time I was in Nigeria, you guys, let me tell you the story. So in Nigeria, and we walked into a restaurant, and they said they give you water, you wash your hands very nicely, and then
Why are you laughing?
there's a big people in suits. We're all in suits, and like guys starts removing their jacket off.
Oh, that should have won you.
Yes. And then the other guys, the people are standing nicely. Service guys doing the stuff. You remove your jacket off, you give it to this gentleman. And then you remove your tie off, you give it to this gentleman. Remove your shirt off, you give it. Then you're given the towel. I'm like, yo, Oga, what we're doing now in this restaurant? I said, no, you're going to eat food. This is how we do it here. I was like, no. This is like, I'm going to be kidnapped.
Oh, gosh.
When we went inside to eat food, everyone was eating food, but they were crying. They were sweating like.
It was tears of joy. You know, it was tears of the joy from the taste, the amazing taste of.
Let's talk about change management from the West African food. Let's talk about the bite of Benin itself now. That food, I don't know. You know, Africa has it's dynamic. We have so many other tribes in Africa, different cuisines in Africa here as a continent. You cannot finish. Uganda alone has 54 of them. Yeah. You can't even finish. These 54 have sub dishes. Not everything is there. But the bite of Benin in Kampala, what is it about? What are you serving? Why the bite of Benin? Tell us more about this restaurant.
Okay. First of all, the name Bite of Benin, we were deliberate about the name, right? It's a play on the word to bite, but there's actually a body of water called the Bite of Benin, which is situated within the greater Gulf of Guinea on the coast of West Africa. So it's either called the
That's
Bite.
the only time I learned the only thing I respect from my history. These other things I don't respect. Because now you're talking about, So it's either the Bite or the Bay of Benin, but we named it Bite of Benin, and it's always a great conversation starter, right? So our intention is to offer food across the 16 West African countries, right? We have foods that are common to us. We have the jollof rice, we'll talk about that. We have the different sauces. So what you'll find is maybe slight differences in the technique or some of the ingredients used. Okay.
Yes.
And that's what the Bite of Benin is all about.
Yes.
Why did you decide to put this restaurant in Kampala, not anywhere else?
First, we're based here in Uganda, but more importantly, we wanted to set up a place where you would come in and explore West African food. So the Bite of Benin is not just about food. Our plan actually is to have it as a center where you would have the arts, so music, spoken word, poetry, artists, painters, sort of like a gallery also, showcasing what we have in West Africa. That is the overall plan for the Bite of Benin. So it's not just about food, but actually bringing West Africa to Uganda, to East Africa. Yeah. Okay. One dish at a time.
Wow. One dish at a time.
One dish at a time.
The West Africans always want to own Africa.
Their dish. Sorry. A sip of coffee.
You always want to own Africa. We want to know, is it because you feel like the rest of the East Africa and South Africa and the Central Africa are not doing a good job in marketing Africa, or you guys just say we're going to take over? We're going to take over, Doga. If you
at all.
Let's talk about this, Doga.
At all. So the average West African, like I said, right? I've had instances where because we are. Should I say overly confident? Well, I don't think we're overly confident, but there's that confidence in who you are as a person, right? And you just walk up and, I've heard stories of, my auntie was in Russia at some point. There was an Igbo man selling plantain, gonja, in Siberia. We don't have snow in Nigeria. Not Siberia quality snow. No. You understand? So I think it's not that we want to own the rest of Africa. We're just outgoing and embracing with love. No. But I think most West Africans are quite adventurous. But I think it's also common to a lot of Africans. Maybe it's just that we were very boisterous about it. I wouldn't use the word loud. So some people take it that is being arrogant about it, but no. If you get to know a West African, what you see is what you get, and we're open about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Bite of Benin and the dishes served at the Bite of Benin. I mean, some pictures, we're going to put some pictures up there, and when I posted about you, so many of my friends were like, "Oh, you're bringing Linda! Wow!"
Oh, thank you guys.
Let's look at the plates there. Can you take us through what is this, Linda? I mean, it's just too busy. This is like
now
luxurious.
this.
I mean, yeah.
This is a feast, not just for the eyes.
Now,
but
guys,
this is a feast for you and the stomach.
Yes.
So we have so that's the Ghana peanut soup, and it's served in that bowl. It's an earthenware bowl, right?
How is it prepared?
You'd have to don on your apron, and please do report at the Bite of Benin. Let me know when you're able to. We shall organize that. And of course, a bowl of pepper soup. So yes, pepper soup, as the name says, it is pepper soup, right? But it's spicy. It's spicy and it's fragrant. It's nose tingling. It's described that way, and it is nose tingling. What I love is so it makes you sweat, right? But you see, it's a spicy, flavorful dish. You know, you can get food that is hot and that's it. There's no flavor to it.
Yeah, you Nigerian make us eating kamulari in Uganda like nothing.
No, we don't.
Your food is like
we don't. We don't do kamulari, right? What we do is what do you call it? We season the dish with the peppers. And can I say, in Uganda, you have amazing, lovely chilies, right? The habaneros. The orange one, oh, it's the fragrance, the bouquet is amazing, right? The green one, there's a particular sauce made in Nigeria with that, but it's called ayamase, or fada sauce, right? Then the red ones. But what I've noticed in the difference in Ugandan chili is that it burns and then it eases off.
Okay.
The West African one will remind you.
So what is this?
Now this is
what this one look nice, dogga.
This one a correct dish. It's a correct dish. So there is the jollof rice, which we'll talk about, right? So we have this package at the Bite of Benin. It's called Jollof 30. So every Thursday, you get portions of jollof rice, stir-fried chicken or stir-fried beef, party plantain, and then either spinach sauce or coleslaw. We have both vegetarian and non-vegetarian. So the vegetarian one, we have tofu, which is made out of soya beans. I call it the vegetarian chicken, right? And we make it different ways. We have it both in the spinach sauce or as a stew, or we grill it as suya. Suya is common to West Africa, right? And this whole package you get for 30,000 every Thursday. So this is an introduction to West Africa, if you will, if you haven't had West African food.
Okay. Yeah. Wow. I mean, it looks tasty for some people.
It is very tasty.
It's very inviting, but I can also warn you that this food is hot.
Well, you see, at the Bite of Benin, we allow you to dial your spiciness, but don't come and order Linda's level.
Yes. No. All right, so let's talk about this. What's this, Linda? I mean,
so this is fresh, whole grilled, charcoal grilled fish.
Is that kamulari and all we're seeing? Pepper?
No. This is...
We'll have some kamulari there over and
no, so you choose. If you want it with correct chili, we infuse it with the chili. You see, the beauty is you're eating it and, you know, it's... So we have the whole grilled fish and it's filling. I find just for one person, it's sufficient actually.
Yeah, okay. So this is all the dishes from
This is some of the dishes from West Africa.
Yes. So what if I am coming to West Africa, and, or maybe I don't have the air ticket to go to West Africa. First of all, it's very difficult to get to West Africa because there's no direct flight,
unfortunately,
to Nigeria.
Unfortunately.
We hope that Uganda Airlines is going to come up with one that Ugandans can actually move. Some of us have been lucky to go to Nigeria, to go to a bit of Ghana, and to experience a bit of West Africa. I mean, volleyball has been able to take me all across the world.
Oh, excellent.
And through volleyball, I've met people like Timothy. Oh man, he's a Nigerian guy, he's a referee, he's loud. And when it comes to food, we're with Timothy in Algeria, and Timothy diss everyone in Algeria.
But in a good way.
I go come to this country to eat food, and this will go give me this food that don't even taste anything. What's wrong with you guys? Not in Nigeria, not in Africa though. I like Timothy, just relax.
Leave people at their food alone. I know.
And Timothy was not happy at all. But so we don't have a direct flight, but we want to experience. So for A person would just want to just, you know, if I can't board a bus to go to West Africa, which dish would you give me that when I come, okay, what is the introduction to the true West African food? So, like if you come to my home area, they'll give you malakwang and corn, and you will enjoy. If you go to Buganda here, they will give you matoke and luombo. If you go to the western part of Uganda, they will give you ishagwe and some other mixed things, you know. If you go to, you know, Busoga, they will give you some mboli and, you know.
I hear you.
Yes.
So if you came to, not if
the
you
bite
came,
of Benin in Kampala,
you're welcome to the Bite of Now. Please, I do hope you come. Jollof rice, right, is an introduction to West Africa, right? And I know there's this seeming feud about jollof rice, but let me say this, okay?
Can we just have a picture of jollof rice somewhere up there?
Jollof rice, funny enough, jollof is originally
what does it mean?
From the Wolof Kingdom in Senegal.
Wow.
But the Nigerians and the Ghanaians collected it and moved forward with it. Okay?
Typical of Nigerians always.
And Ghanaians, we moved forward with it. So like the other day, I told someone, right? When he came, he said, which jollof rice do you have? So I told him, I said, there's only one jollof. I told him, I said, there's only one king and there are many contenders. Being Nigerian, I made it obvious. It is a jollof rice. Before the Ghanaians will come for me. No, but I would say start with jollof rice. Then I also always ask people to try the stews. So we do tomato stew. Now, West African tomato stew is heavy on tomatoes. We use a lot of tomatoes. I'll give you an example. If I was using, say, 4 kilos of tomatoes, right? I would put in maybe 2 kilos of onions.
So which one is jollof rice from here?
It's the one on the left.
Do you have a picture? I think we have a picture of jollof rice somewhere.
Yeah, certainly.
Right,
so I'll just quickly run over. There's jollof rice. There's egusi soup in front, which looks like scrambled eggs. That's the feedback I get. But that is not eggs. That's actually a type of melon seed from West Africa that we grind and then mix.
So this is the jollof rice.
This is jollof rice. So that red color comes from the tomatoes. We don't add any food coloring because I've had questions on that. So that comes from it, and then we use because we don't have what we call tatashe, which is the big red peppers we use in Nigeria, which is deep red color. We use the red capsicum here, the red bell peppers. It sort of gives us that same color, but not quite. But hey, when in Rome, you do as the Romans do.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So talking of that, Linda, as we come to the end of the show, what are you looking forward to with this restaurant in Kampala? What do you want to achieve with this restaurant in Kampala besides money?
Well, that's a good point. First is to make body well. For you to understand what make body well means, you need to come to Bite of Benin.
What does that mean that body well? Body well doesn't mean what?
At all. Make body well. Come to the Bite of Benin. We'll talk about that, and you will make body well. No worry. But our intention actually is to introduce West Africa one dish at a time to East Africa. There's a lot of commonality actually between our meals, right? Well, not our meals, but the ingredients. I'll give you an example. Bitter leaf. It's called mururuza here or bombo. The first reaction when I mention it is, it's bitter, and I say yes. But there's a way we wash it and use it with the sauce we use, which is the egusi, right? And when you eat it, it leaves a sweet aftertaste. There's also water leaf. I honestly have forgotten the botanical name to it, right? But each time I point it out, people say it's a weed, and I say, when you find that weed, please bring it to me. We use it to cook, right? Stuff like the hibiscus. We use it to make zoborodo. Zoborodo is a drink. So at the Bite, we call them bite seals. We don't do cocktails. And it goes perfectly well with the make body well. So our intention at the Bite of Benin is to introduce West Africa to East Africa one dish at a time. Come experience West Africa. The pepper soup also, we'll dial it back a bit for you. We can have maybe a tub of yogurt or some milk. Now this is called Chapman. It's an iconic Nigerian drink. Most Nigerians, when they walk in, it brings back childhood memories for us, you know. only at the Bite of Benin. So come make me shake
Wana
body.
kamulari or wana pepper.
But this one is the correct one. It's the correct one. I take you make body well. You're good to go.
So Linda, I have a question to you here from, you know, we call himself, he's called the king of the house of Kirunda. That's how he called himself.
King of boys.
Yes. And he's a very good friend of mine. This is, he's called Leo Kirunda. Says, you know, ask Oga that Oga. Make body well. What is make body well? So let's talk about what is make body well. Because this seems to be, everyone who comes to Bite of Benin or to West Africa comes back asking make body well. Yes. So what's make body well?
So my mom, she retired as an English lecturer in Nigeria, and she loves cooking. My grandmother actually set up a hotel cum restaurant. She also loved cooking, right? So my mom got into cooking competitions actually. Yes. I've actually found instances where people don't know her name, but she has this dish which is a very tasty, flavorful, spicy. Either she could do chicken or goat, but often was chicken, called Make Body Well. Right? So she actually wrote a recipe book, you know. And when we set up the restaurant, I told her, I said, there's a dish I'm going to name after. And she had a laugh. I said, no, I'm serious, right? So that is it. Make body well. It's a goat platter we have at the Bite of Benin.
Leo is saying you'll thank me later when you ask her that question.
I bet Leo can't chop her more. We dial it back, but can't chop her. We do it. We do it.
Okay, Linda. So once again, we're talking about the transformation, of course. You know, here. What is your ideal transformation as a person? First of all, as a lawyer, you know, and then as a restaurant owner, as a food, you know, enthusiast now, businesswoman. You know, what is your ideal understanding of transformation with everything that you do as a person, to the community, to individuals, to the nation? When I thought about this,
we're not thinking. Transformation. It has so many meanings behind it.
With everything you do.
Being able to, okay, so I'll give you very quick example is if we're able to, as Bite of Benin, for example, able to get Ugandans or people living in Kampala in Uganda comfortable and confident to walk into the Bite and say, I'd like to try this. Okay? That's one aspect of transformation. Okay? If as Bite of Benin, we're also able to train cooks and chefs who are versed in West African food and fusing it in some aspects with the food from Uganda, right? From time to time, that is some transformation also.
All right. And I mean, just to ask this question, somebody just sent me this question. Says, Eddie Okila, thank you very much. He's written some very hard Nigerian word. This is surely a Nigerian in Kampala. And says, yeah, that sister of mine is doing a great job.
Thank you.
Just like most Nigerians come here and, you know, involved in many things. But we love the fact that she's trying to make the West African culture quite very eminent in Kampala. We enjoy it. We love it. One question for me, for Linda. Will she ever go back to law? Because we think she's just practicing this because there is no room for her to go back to law. Yes. Are you going to leave this thing and go back to law? You'll continue?
Like I said, I never left law.
Yes.
Right? I'm not 100% engaged in law as I was in the beginning, right? So the plan is, because I'm operations director at the Bite of Benin, is for the manager to take it and run with it. And you see, that's where the transformation happens. They're actually able to hand over your vision, right, of the Bite of Benin to a team that will run with it. Once you do that, the transformation is complete.
Wow.
Yeah.
One more question, Linda. Thank you very much, Eddie Okela, for bringing Linda to the show. And you got about 200 questions coming from Nigeria. I can't read all of them, guys.
Pidgin English there.
Yes. But I want to try this one out. So this is coming from somebody, a Nigerian based in London, Eastern London. He's saying, Thank you very much. I didn't know that there's a Nigerian in Uganda actually making us proud. We Nigeria or go take over whenever we go.
Not the talk that one, no.
Yes. And but our question is very interesting. It says, I love what my sister there is doing. Eddie, I just want to know from her. She's not talked about the goat we eat with the skin, with the you know. She need to sell. That is the real, true Nigerian food. Ugandan Mazana.
Yes. So thank you very much. So
this goat here we eat. How do you eat a goat with skin, Linda?
Oh, how not?
No.
You just
no.
You use your cutlery cutout and you eat it. Yes. So for us, when we make,
she's saying that is a real traditional West African food.
Yes,
that's scary.
It's not, but you see, that's the thing, right? If you're open about food, and I'll tell you this, for me, I'm always willing to try new food, as long as I know the ingredients. Which is why when you come to the Bite of Benin, our menu is descriptive, okay? Which is why I've written in there mururuza or bitter leaf, so you know instantly, okay, this is happening. Then, okay, so like we have eforiro, right?
Yes.
Eforiro is a one-pot flavorful soup, right? With spinach in it. It has everything inside. It has tripe, it has cow skin, it has offals. Yes, we do use that, right?
But your sister, cow skin.
Yes.
Okay, you know how cow skin were to
No. You see, they always ask me, well, we use it to make leather. We eat in Nigeria. We eat half.
You're eating her shoes.
No, we eat half of the cow skin. We make leather with the other half. But it's
only in Nigeria.
Only West Africa.
Only West Africa, especially.
So, and you see, even the cow tail, we get the cow tail with the skin. I don't know. I've lost count of how many times I've laughed.
Yes.
Cow skin, or rather, no, oxtail.
Yes.
With the skin on. Yes, it's delicious. Yes. The goat pepper soup, we make it with the skin. Now that is where you get the real flavor of the goat, or as we say in Nigeria, the perfume. You know, the perfume you know, and we do what we call, so sometimes we actually roast the whole goat.
Yes.
So before COVID, or rather as I tell people, there's BCC, which is before COVID and curfew. There's DCC, which is during COVID and curfew, which is where we're at now.
Yes.
I'm sincerely praying for
so you're not looking for after COVID.
Thank you, and curfew, right? So we used to have concerts at the Bite of Benin. We had one every month from September. It was quite popular. One Friday a month, right? And we'd have this huge goat at the back, somersaulting. My Nigerian would know somersaulting goat, somersaulting chicken. You know, and it was absolutely lovely. With COVID, curfew, and all, the world has changed, right? So, excuse me, we're trying to see how to get back on track. Okay, how do we get back on track? We've been literally, it's a dance. Okay, so I'm sure I remember I told you the other day. I said each time there's a lockdown, we don't reopen, we restart. And I'm just wondering how many times we're going to restart. So we've gone from hanging on by our fingernails to now by our fingertips, and the muzzle pull is becoming a bit heavy. You know. One of the things that has helped, and I think I mentioned this to you, for us to get in towards something. There's an organization I think I mentioned to you. It's called BNI. I think you should have a word with them. It's called Business Network International. We joined in June, and it's a network for business owners. It's global, and it is working. Okay, so for us, it's bringing us, or rather helping us, to come back to a new Bite of Benin, because the old normal has gone. We're not going back to, so each time someone says we're going, oh, the new normal, there's no new normal. It's a new way of doing business, right? So a new way for you also to do business is come and chop that goat pepper soup with skin on it.
But I want to just wrap up the show with somebody just called me, sent me a message here, and I just want to read this quite quickly. And he's saying it's a private message. I mean, people like to send private messages, and so he's saying, Eddie Okela, thank you so much. I have a comment. There's a number of comments on YouTube. I'm just going to go to YouTube, guys, and to all the guys on Twitter. Thank you very much, first of all, for following the show. I want to take you straight to some of these comments that are coming on YouTube, which are very interesting. But one of them, somebody saying, "Can Linda please explain to us what really is making the goat with pepper with the skin means?" Do these guys eat the goat with the skin? This is the
yes,
reason why we have shortage of of leather. I have one coming from Mediwato Chom. Law and food are a good mix after all. There is a growing jurisprudence on the right to food. Anyway, anyone needs to diversify their income streams regardless of their profession. Good job, Linda. That's coming from Mediwato Chom. And then he goes on to say he's a lawyer. I mean, he's a land right lawyer.
When he said jurisprudence, I knew yeah.
And he says, I will come for a West African food experience soon to support your business, Linda. Thank you very much. I have another question coming from another person here who says, Eddie Okila, thank you very much. Could you please ask that lady, what do they exactly mean they prepare goat with the skin or cow with the skin? How do you eat a cow with the skin? What happened to the...
I see this is now becoming that...
So I know Amos Wekesa is curious. When we met with Amos Wekesa, he said he wants to come for Amos, you want to go and eat the goat with the skin. I mean, how are you going to do this?
I'm laughing my head off now.
Yes. So how is this prepared? People want to know how it's prepared. Uganda is actually very stunned right now. I got so many messages, 500 messages on Messenger. Guys, I can't read these messages. This is hilarious.
Guys, can we do this?
Yes.
You guys, Eddie and I will work out a date.
Yes.
We'll have the goat somersaulting with the skin. No, but serious. Okay, so when we cook with the goat with the skin, right?
Yes.
And then you cook without the skin. There's a difference. The flavor, right? The perfume, as we call it, it actually becomes more intense in the sauce or in the soup. So we're eating good. I'll give you an example. The other day, a group of Nigerians were visiting, and he had ordered for egusi goat. So as I'm wont to do, I walked around. I usually get feedback from clients who are at the restaurant, and I asked if he was okay. And he sort of kept quiet. So I now switch over and I said, bros, talk to me now. What's in the happen? So he said, hey, now they talk. I said, how far? He said, that goat egusi. I said, what about it? He said, it didn't taste like egusi goat. I said, I know, because we didn't cook the goat meat in the egusi soup. So when you cook the goat with the skin in the sauce, right, it imparts a particular flavor to it. They can quickly identify and say, this is goat. Okay? So for us, that is it. You can take it out, but really and truly, West African will ask you, who did I offend that you're bringing to me without this? I bet who I offend.
All right, wow. Linda, thank you so much. So what is the one last word we can pick from you going forward? If you just look into this camera and just tell us the 3 things we should pick from you, crossing from law, like Diwato.